What's up, everyone? I got Gage here. Gage, say what's up.
Hi, guys.
Gage is playing the Spice. He's playing the new Fire King Snake Eye shit. So everyone wanted a deck profile. Got Lyle doing a deck profile as well. But we'll go ahead and let Gage get into it because he knows this and I don't. So Gage, go ahead and start, my man.
Sure thing. Non-engine. The reason you play the deck, this card, unless you're like Centurion and you make a really weak end board where you need all your hand traps to be live, it does too much when you see it going second to justify not playing it. Although it should be a little cheaper. Ash is just a great card.
And the common Ash with the secret Fulos.
Yeah.
Gotta make budget cuts.
Imperm's great. Impulse, probably the best card in the deck. At least my favorite, anyhow. It should be banned. Should never printed it. Droplet. Your deck is really good at going and playing into boards. It's great to set it going first after making the end board. In low power end boards, you can send Island away and trigger your fires if your opponent leaves you on like nothing. Really cool card. Really neat interactions. And that rounds out the non-engine.
How many cards is that for non-engine?
15, I believe. And then we've got the Snake Eye part of the deck. One Ash, one Pop, one Oak, one Flamberge. You just gotta like some of the pros like the pure Fire King stuff a little bit more, but this adds a lot more to your end board. The pure Fire King stuff only has one starter in Olkinix. The Ponix card doesn't really get you a whole lot except like a rank 8 setup. So these cards add a lot, and then got some extra spells in here. Hallowed because of the Asmina package, original for Witch. And then a little unconventional now, but we do play Triple Deception. So it's a really good extender if it doesn't eat your normal summon. This card being an Omni Negate, letting you fusion out an Omni Negate provides a lot of value. Insane. Bonfire, better than individually Poplar, might even be better than Ash because it doesn't commit in normal, but if you have like Arvada in this, Kieran, it's just such a good starter. We played 3 Witch. I saw in Sokko's deck profile, I think he was playing like 2 Witch, 1 Deception. You don't really have a lot of dedicated normals, and your engine is so good that I really like being a little more engine heavy on this. And then to round out this part of the deck, 3 Wanted. If you were going to cut anything and save, I think probably a Witch, a Deception, good cards to side out. But that is the Snake Eye and the Asmina parts of the deck. And then finally we get the Fire King part, Olkinix. And I guess I'll add the brick in with it. This card on Destruction will summon this only from deck, so if it's in hand, it's dead. If it's in grave, it's dead. You really never want to see this card. As far as Olkinix goes, a lot of people like it at 3, but you always need another fire with it to do your 1-card combo. So you're always going to be spending another resource. Now you can get it back with Sunlight Wolf. We'll go over that later. But the idea that you always need another fire or this is just a dead card, I don't like it too much. But you need to play at least 2 because a 1-to-1 like break ratio doesn't feel good there. And then triple Kieran. At the regional that I just went to, lost last round to 10 Pyro, so would have topped. That's this deck's worst matchup by a lot. Just getting shifted is terrible. But this insulates all your normal summons, a lot of your pushes, minus like Witch. This is such a good card. And then some more of the Fire King one-ofs. Just got to play it. Ponix, Garunix, Arvada, Sanctuary Island. Some of this engine's pretty good to set out going second. And specifically going second, Olkinix Kieran. One of the best 2-card combos to break boards. Normal summon this, effect pop this in hand, and then we're gonna go like Chainlink 1 to summon from deck, Chainlink 2 to revive to pop, and then Chainlink 3 because Ponix will see the destruction of this. On resolution, it'll summon itself out and get you Sanctuary Island, whichever one. If you sided this out, then it gets this. Or you can just go into Garunix. Eventually what this does is allow you with a committed normal. You're gonna pop a card, you're gonna have Arvada and Princess set up, and then the overlay for the rank 8 chicken that nukes the board. And that's it for the main deck. Coming in at 44 cards. It was 43 at the regional, so I added 1 more Kieran. I thought it was really, really nice. And the extra deck.
Sorry to interrupt because you said you're at 43 and now you're at
44, yeah.
No, it's not that cool.
Is there anything that you would change, or do you think that's optimized, or do you think that there's room to get it down to 40?
No, I've been playing around with it, cutting a Witch, cutting, a deception, and I don't love oak, but like the higher ceiling end boards utilize some of the Snake Eye stuff. So you could cut these 3 and a 44 get down to 41. You could always cut the second or the third Kieran. It's not like mandatory or anything, but it is very good. It insulates ash, poplar, ponix,
Right.
any of your fire plays.
So in theory, you could shave off 4 cards, but for optimization right now, you think 44 is pretty good.
Yeah, and your engine is so good that you can afford to see more of it. And this deck specifically plays so well into Fulos too that you're not as worried about hand trapping somebody, because Fulos is the main deck one. This deck plays a lot harder into Perulia. So your commitment with all this extra engine is pretty nice, because you can set up a pretty good board and give them like 1 or 2 draws off of Fua. So, yep. And then for the extra deck, 1 Link 1, just Anima. It's so good. The ability to just get any of your 1s into a link, put anything in graveyard that you want. Sunlight Wolf, you gotta play it like anytime that you would like pop an Ash Blossom or add a Kieran back from your grave for turn 2 plays. Super good. 1 SP, good end board piece, nice interruption. We have double Charmer. These are just extra ways to play because this extra deck is really free. It's not a whole lot. You could really cut these if you wanted to. I like this one a lot more, but like take somebody's Black Witch, take somebody's Ash Blossom or Snake Eye Ash, Nightmare Phoenix, Stun. It's pretty good to cycle, get another draw off if it's co-link. There's also a neat line with this and Zelantis. If you have a Zelantis and this that are co-linked, you go into battle phase, and if you have Raging Phoenix in grave, attack effect to blow this up. This will see the destruction in graveyard, trigger it, and it'll come back with the 19 attack gain. So another little neat OTK line. Then we got IP. This can be an end board piece, or you can combo with it, leave it in your grave, because we play Ambler Whale. And if Ambler Whale sees this destruction, you can, if you're not fire locked like Princess, summon this card back out. And this deck is super layered. It gives you a lot of other interaction from your grave. Like that's why Soul Release was so popular when this was better than Pure in like February. Really, really neat interaction. And then we play 1 Princess. It's optimal to play 2, but I don't really want to buy another one. You probably could play 2. I definitely would like that a little bit more. Specifically when you get like nibbed, if you have like a Flamberge on board, because they'll give you a token, and then Flamberge revive 2, because they want to nib you on Princess. If you don't have any protection, that's the best point to nib the deck. And then you would use token, because this only requires 2 African monsters. Token, and then whenever you revive off Flamberge, remake this, revive Arvada, and that's enough of an end board. Whale, another end board piece. It's a pop-in graveyard. It'll revive your IP, or like an SP. World Sea, Raging Phoenix, the same OTK we've been doing for almost a year now, still works. That is the link part of the deck, and there are so many free extra deck slots, you could like change this up. This was the card for Tenpai. Everybody that I played on Tenpai would have had an opportunity to make this card because it blanks their turn, it turn skips them back if they like shift to you. They always hit the Ash or like the Bonfire, but I still think in theory this is very good. Then we've got another, I wouldn't say inward piece, just interaction. You make off Sanctuary, nuke the board. I like to sequence this to usually be my last interrupt if possible. And then, those are for the Xyz. And then the fusion stuff, the Azamina, the Searcher, and the Omni Negate. This had so much value to your end board. Cards that would like blow you out. Just easy negate. You're not super worried about Cosmic on Island. If you were, they need double Cosmic, right? You tribute it off, negate it. And you can rebuild your board with destruction-based stuff. And then, side deck. My preferred card going first was 3 Crossout. I think that if you can make your end board against most decks, you'll probably just win. It looks really unassuming. Your average end board is like Whale Arvada or like Princess Arvada. Or if you really open well, it'll be IP, Whale, Arvada. But normally, if you're making a full end board, you've got stuff in hand too, you probably just win. The other Charmy, this deck plays way worse into this one. I'd rather get Fulos than get Perulia'd. Perulia is just so, you summon from hands like Bonfire, Snake Eye Ash, Ponix, Witch. Yeah, you just play into this card ridiculously hard.
For sure.
Yeah. evenly. You could fully commit to hand traps, but seeing that we in 15 and 44, you could cut it down to where you have your hand traps feel a little bit more impactful. But your deck is so good at playing into clearing into boards. Like if you can evenly get them down to one card, and you have a handful of engine, they would have to have some really great follow up to play through it. Ogre, this card is really good. This card at one point in testing was Veiler, but your restriction with let's find it. Dominus Impulse, because I never said Dominus Impulse, that's so troll. You just play into more cards before you want to use it. Like you'll get Nightmare Phoenix, and this will get SP'd away, and you can't use lights if you activate this from hand. So you gotta be really careful to sequence this card, because both of these cards are pretty good at 6-card too. And this deck, you don't really need a whole lot of non-engine, but it is really nice to have. And then finally, because I didn't change the side deck from the event, Dogwood. I don't want to lose in time, but realistically, this should be Thrust. Change up the side deck a little bit to play like D-Barrier or DDG. Because when they turn skip, yes, you want to turn skip them back. Yeah, but that's the deck profile. Deck is really good. It's a good meta call, kind of like how people are playing Centurion right now.
I feel like it's pretty safe in the list too, considering Snake Eye just got its hit, so I don't feel like it's going to really suffer too much more moving forward either.
If they hit something, it'll probably be Flambirds, but you can just cut the Snake Eye engine back. You'd want to play Ash and Poplar as long as they're legal, because the ability to have Bonfire as starter extender, get this out, link into Anima, and then Anima, and have this for a free send is really nice. And your stuff like Kieran, always going to be great for installation, always going to be great at cracking boards. It's kind of like cross out, for stuff like Veiler and Imperm. But yeah, that's about it.
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate it, Gage. Thank you very much for the profile.
Thanks, man. Woo!